Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. And Honorable Speaker, where we are today, because of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, stems from a history. For the longest, there was a time when you only had to sing to the tune of the government of the day for projects to be extended your way. But when the CDF came about, whether you sing the loudest to the tune of the government or you refuse to do so, just like we have perfected that art, you still get your due share of the Constituency Development Fund, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, this was not an idle, tired proposal. It came because we needed to develop this country equally across board, Honorable Speaker. The benefits accruing from CDF funds cannot properly be underscored, Honorable Speaker. Whereas CDF was enacted in the year 2003, it is puzzling that we passed a new constitutional order in 2010 but forgot to entrench CDF as part of that constitution, Honorable Speaker. And here we are today, now grappling with what we could have cured in the year 2010, Honorable Speaker. But be it as it may, we will strive to make it work because it has worked before. Honorable Speaker, why we are here today is because all the three tiers of our courts, from High Court all the way to the Supreme Court, have made a universal decision that CDF is not merited. I acknowledge that the judges in High Court all the way to the Supreme Court went to school before the enactment of CDF Act, and therefore they do not understand the real benefits of this money, Honorable Speaker. If they have an additional war with members of this House, I do not know. But how I wish that even before a decision is made, because judges do not live in void, they live with us, and they understand the plight of this money. They understand the plight of members of parliament together with the people that they represent, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, it is sad that we have to revert to coming up with a new constitutional order, tinkering with the Constitution, because judges have refused to listen to the plight of the citizenry, Honorable Speaker. We, and everybody of us here know, that for the long period of time, our schools have been dilapidated and quite rickety in nature. Some of the classrooms where we went to were mud-walled, and we had to mop up our parents carrying cow dung and dirt to go and amend our schools, Honorable Speaker. Some of us in this house went under trees to study. And therefore, when this CDF Act was brought into the fore, it actually cured more than you would have ever imagined. And only those who are in this house would understand properly the benefits that have come as a result of this CDF, Honorable Speaker. But I also acknowledge that the Supreme Court did vitiate the 2013 Act. We still have the 2015 Act under the national government CDF, which is in operation up to now. And therefore, nothing stops Treasury from expending from the exchequer these monies to our constituencies, Honorable Speaker. And if somebody would want to hide behind an argument emanating from this court of law, a decision that was made by the Supreme Court, then we are lying to ourselves. We are not operating under 2013, we are operating under new act, which was enacted in the year 2015. And therefore, as monies will be available, we want that CDF monies to be sent to our constituency accounts as soon as possible. There are people who now hold very senior positions either in government or in private sector. Most of these people went to school courtesy of bursaries, Honorable Speaker. Today, even as we speak, because the monies have since delayed, we still have so many children holed up in villages, cannot go to school, because constituencies are yet to receive monies so that we can address the issues of bursary, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, with your chair, we would also humbly request that you help us expedite this process so that we have these monies go to the ground and our children can be plugged in school. The projects that were ongoing in our schools and many other chief's offices and police stations and many other places can be quickly fast-tracked, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have also included the Oversight Fund, which should be expended to members of the Senate. The NGCDF Act of 2015 entirely alienated members of Parliament from any involvement in that money. Now, on the flip side, failure to conduct a thorough follow-up on that money takes a member of Parliament home at 4 a.m. in the morning. So whereas our roles are quite limited in nature, we bear the brunt of failure of the MGCDF committee in general. So even as we pursue monies to go to the senators to carry out an oversight roles, Honorable Speaker, this House equally needs the same amount of money so that members of Parliament can also move around and check if with exactitude the members of that committee have committed themselves and have carried out all the projects that were hitherto arrived at by that same committee and the involvement of our communities, Honorable Speaker. So the Oversight Fund will be making a further amendment to this, that it should be reading to members of Parliament and not solely the members of the Senate.
Order member for Busia, but we really are not allowed to cross and crisscross. So when you have to do exactly what you did, you have to go all the way